Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure. As usual, I am one of the co-hosts. I am lucky enough to be joined with my good friend, Mr. Michael Sharp. Hello, sir.
Greetings, Adam. How are you?
You know what? I am good. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to recording with you all day, sir.
Well, as you should. I would expect actually all week, but that's okay. I'll take the day.
Well, I only started work today.
But the week started yesterday on Sunday.
Well, that's true.
Saying, never mind. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, okay.
All right, moving right along.
I am back from another adventure across America.
Awesome.
This time was a little family vacation. I want to give you a little bit of an update, not to go on and on, but I want to give you a little bit of an update. So, I was born in a little town called, it's not little, San Bernardino, California. For those of you who don't know, I was adopted. My mother could not have children. And so I like to say I'm the best thing that 30 grand can buy you. My father may have a second opinion on that, by the way.
Yeah, let's call up Mr. Baranski, because I think he could probably put it in better perspective.
Oh, look at the time. We don't
want to bother him this late in the evening. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe later.
Yeah, maybe we can get him on the next show. The second one we record this week. No, I'm just kidding. So my mother had this idea, I don't know, back in June or July or September or something last year. She said, why don't we go back for your 50th birthday? Why don't we go back to where it all started? And I was like, okay, that sounds good. You know, I hadn't been back. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was trying to be, remember, this is a family show. So
I just said hospital.
No, I know me. I mean, because I was going to answer another way, but I thought, I'm like, really? So we put this trip together to go out to Southern California. Lucky enough that we saw some of my family who lives out there. An avid listener of our show. I took him a couple of gifts. I cannot lie. Took him a Cycling Men of Leisure jersey and a Cycling Men of Leisure t-shirt. Got a picture from him today out riding his bicycle, sporting the Cycling Men of Leisure t-shirt. So I thought that was pretty cool. So
you need to download that.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah. So flew into LAX, and no issues, concerns. I know the concern with some of the travel right now is TSA, and we didn't have any issues. Got right through and got out to California. So spent a few days with family. Then Lauren and I broke off a little bit, and we spent a few days on our own. And as you have mentioned on this show, and I have to confess, I'll raise my right hand. I'm not sure which camera it looks like I'm pointing here, if the camera's mirrored or not. But my love for Disney started at Disneyland when I was a very young boy. And so we did visit Disneyland. I don't remember anything about being there. There's a lot of photographs of me there. The only thing I remember was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. The car kind of came to my mind, but the ride itself, nothing like that. But so that's kind of cool that we did that. Let me tell you, a lot more expensive in California than Florida. But I'm sure the cost of living, and I'm sure they probably pay more for jobs and everything. But I wanted to tell you, because sometimes on this show we talk about our adventures on the road. I want to tell you about my trip home. So we enjoyed a beautiful week in California. I had a hotel by LAX. Got to the hotel the night before. Mr. Baranski, go upstairs. Your name's on the television, of course. For those of you who don't know, Michael and I always tease, because when we stay in hotel rooms, it says, welcome, Adam. And he's like, wow, you got your name on the TV. And so it was kind of fun, because then Michael was traveling with his family and his name was on the TV. He took a picture. He said, I'm just like you. So
big win.
That's right. So get in the room. by that time we were exhausted, and it's fun to go on vacation, but it's also fun to come home sometimes. So ready to come home. A little bit anxiety, just TSA and everything I was watching while I was in California, watching all the news stories. Houston had people outside. Your airport, by the way, made the news when I was in LA. People were outside the Kansas City airport in in barrels and walking through. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
What was that for?
Trying to get through TSA.
No. I'll disagree with that.
Was it?
It wouldn't have been for that.
Was it
It might
something
have been
else?
there might have been a bomb scare.
Oh, okay.
But our TSA actually are not TSA.
Oh,
Actually, our airport contracts, private contractors who work contracted to the TSA. So they are
oh,
pretty much unaffected. So our airport, they just talked about this and had live interviews. That's why I know.
oh, okay.
About
Maybe it
how
was something else.
smooth sailing. Now, there was a bomb threat. I believe that was occurred when you were there, and they had to evacuate the entire airport.
Okay, so maybe that's what I'm mixing my stories, but I know Houston had and Atlanta had problems with TSA, and so we were semi concerned of like, okay, are we going to get through? And I mean, my whole life of hearing about LAX and like, oh my gosh, it's so much busier there, yada yada yada. So, my mother and my father were still at my family's house. They had stayed there, and then Lauren and I lived out of a suitcase. Which, by the way, side note, if you have a job where you live out of a suitcase and
I
you
don't.
travel,
Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
I was meaning our community. Um, but if you have a job that you literally travel all the time out of a suitcase, I have newfound respect for you. I've been on cycling trips, many thousands of miles ridden with you, my friend. I've been places before, but living out, I mean, first we left my house on a Sunday night, and then literally we didn't get home till Tuesday the next week, 9 days or whatever, 8 days, hotels every night. And that gets old. So whoever does that, you now have my sympathy. Um, so we get the hotel, relax.
How
Gonna
is
walk.
that? How can I interrupt?
Yeah,
How is that any different than when you go for like 10 days to Disney?
I have the same room every night, not changing rooms and not.
Oh, okay. You were
Yeah,
changing rooms. Okay.
yeah. Actually, we stayed.
See, the problem with it is you unload your entire suitcase into like all the little like drawers and stuff. If you just
I
kept it all in your suitcase, then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Well, you're not wrong. I normally do that. This time, I actually used those packing cubes like we did for cycling,
Oh yeah.
and so I like kind of had everything broke down before
Oh.
going, and so it was better. But I have done that, and like if I'm going to Disney or whatever, I'm going to be in the same room for 10 days. Yeah, they say welcome home when I get there, so it's like I'm home. Um, so anyways, I guess for me, it's just like it was 5 different hotels that we went to, and
Mm.
just with our trip, and so checking in, checking out, and by the time I got home, I was like, ugh. But so anyways, we're by LAX, gonna fly out the next day. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning because my mother was at my family's house. I was in the hotel by LAX. My mother calls me, "Did you see our flight was canceled?" And they actually sent it at 2 in the morning, but I had do not disturb on my phone turned on. And I said, "Oh no, I didn't see it." And it doesn't say we've rescheduled you. It doesn't say anything. It just says, "I'm sorry, your flight has been canceled." I'm like, "Well, that's not great." So I get on the phone. It says, I start calling, and it says, "Oh, in a 30-minute wait, we'll call you back." And that wasn't too bad. About 15 minutes later, and the lady said, "Oh, good news. We do have a 9:40 flight. So it's supposed to take off at 3:40. We were going to actually head to the airport around noon and then go through what we thought was going to be a long TSA line. We didn't. We said, okay, I got a late checkout from the hotel. They were gracious, everything worked out. And so my mom said, oh, we're on the 9:40. I said, I'm in the 9:40. She said, I'll meet you at the airport around 6 o'clock, 6:40 or something. I said, okay, great. Well, there was an In-N-Out burger by there. So Lauren and I had to be, typical tourists. And we walked to In-N-Out, and it was pretty good. I can't lie. I was right by the end of the runway. So we saw these big jumbo jets coming in. And then we walked back to the hotel, and we go to the airport. And anyways, finishing up the story, delay was from 9:40 to 9:50 to 10 o'clock to 10:30 to 10:40 to 11 o'clock to 11:40, and finally it took off at like 11:50. And then with the time change and everything, I landed in Detroit at 9 o'clock the next morning. And so my boss is like, "Ah, why don't you stay home?" And I was like, "Well, that's good because I wasn't going to do you any good." But yeah, that was not the greatest, but yeah, we had a good time, and
Good.
happy to traveling with my parents is always fun. So haven't don't get to do that a lot. So figured I would just share my traveling my little snafu with you. So, but seems to be a theme with me this year.
It happens. See, that's the difference between your traveling and my traveling. You're not a road trip guy. You're a fly there, camp out for 10 days. I'm a spend 2 days here, go over here, spend 2 days, and spend 2 days. So I don't have a problem living out of my suitcase, but I could see how you like to travel, that would be like an annoyance. So I get it.
But yeah, so that's now I'm home for a while, and for anyone who's part of our community knows I've through work and personal been on the road a lot this year, and so which brings me to my first update. We'll get into listener spotlight in 1 second, but I wanted to give a studio update. I have finally made some headway. As you know, I've sent you some photographs.
Mhm.
The studio is coming together. I'm hoping if it's not the next show, but the next one after that, I can be back upstairs out of the basement here and have everything done. So I'm putting these acoustic panels up, and I think you have some too as well. But I'm putting some acoustic panels up, and I got to tell you, my wife came in. I had to show her. I said, "Hey, babe, come here. I want you to see this. This is really weird." And instead of saying, "Oh, this will be great for the show," or "This will be great for the YouTube," or "You and Michael will really be able to use this," she said, "Is this your new kill room?" Because I got to tell you, it is. It is not sound dampening. It's like sound absorbing. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like negative pressure almost. So I don't know if that.
Well, I question, or I get concerned when she says, "Is this your new one?" So where's the old one at?
All right. So listener spotlight.
Yeah. Note to self: make sure the next time I visit Adam, I'm staying at the hotel down the street.
Hey, there's a wall right behind me, and there's a heated floors. If you come in the winter, you got your own
But
beautiful shower right around the
that
corner here.
might be the original kill room. I don't know. Now I'm a little concerned, but
Well, do you travel with luminol? I've seen a lot of television shows where they spray luminol everywhere. So, all right, we've got a couple more stuff to get into, but I'll tell you what, we had some guesses. So let me give you in my best
all right.
non-bored voice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for listener spotlight.
All right.
You have some clues, sir, because I have a couple of people who guessed.
Yeah, the clues were as follows. The town was created as a key river port. It was created by the unification of two towns. It was named for a military hero of the Revolutionary War. It holds a specific historical cavalry fact from the Civil War. And this town knows a little something about special operations.
Well, I
Pretty
got to
easy.
tell you, when our community writes us, it literally brings smiles to my face. I mean, if I'm living my daily life, doing my stuff or whatever, and someone writes us and they kind of add some humor to it, it's just why we got into this. It just makes me, I don't know, make like smile like a little schoolgirl or something. But so I call him Matt, you call him Mark. He wrote us, but I got to tell you what he said here. He said, "Hey, you boys, I'm going to go with Fort Madison. Keokuk was my initial thought, but the Revolutionary War clue didn't fit clearly. Keep the good stuff coming. You guys cure a lot of indoor training miles. Thanks." And he signs his message, Mark-Matt. So not only is he's buying into our joke, he's now replying.
I love it.
And so I just, it's kind of, I think I was in Costco picking up some stuff for the week, and I saw the message and it just made me smile. Um, Another one of our community members who writes in on a
Now,
regular
I'm going to
basis.
assume,
Wait,
did he have a state on there?
I'm so sorry. He just says Fort Madison.
Okay, I wonder if he's talking Iowa. Because that other town, there is a town called that in Iowa as well. So that's why I was wondering. So anyway.
So another one of our community members, Wade Paul, he writes us and he says, "A listener spotlight is town I've lived in through 2 deployments and a major land grab by the city. My first dog was bought off the side of the Skipbo, pronounced Skybo Road, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Airborne all the way." I have to say it like he did. Airborne all the way. So in between the 2 community members, first tell us, Michael, is one of them correct?
I will give credit to one of them because unfortunately one of them is correct. And it's not unfortunate they're correct. It's just unfortunate both of them were not correct.
Gotcha. All right. I don't know. I'm thinking that just for the fun, I mean, the way that Wade wrote it, it just seems so like he knows it. Like
he's like 100% confident that he has the answer.
Yes, sir.
Which we have seen that go awry before. They were so confident, and then it's like wah wah wah. But I appreciate the confidence.
Well, tell us, sir, the man who holds the strings to listener spotlight, which one of our community members is correct?
Wade, you are correct.
Oh,
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Well, Matt, Mark.
Thank you.
Unfortunately,
I cannot say that you were correct, but here's how it came up with it. The town was created as a key river port on the Cape Fear River. It was created by the unification or through the unification of 2 towns, which was Cross Creek and Camp Belton. It was named for a military hero of the Revolutionary War. It was the first city that was named in honor of the Marquis de Lafayette, who, if anybody remembers their early revolutionary history, Lafayette was the French military officer who came over to the United States and helped organize our army prior to the French fleet coming over here and actually helping us out additionally. It holds a specific historical cavalry fact from the Civil War because its location was the last place that that there was a cavalry battle during the Civil War. And the town knows something about special ops, and that is because it is home to Fort Bragg. So there you go.
Well, I think both of those gentlemen, I love when they write in, and thank you, Matt, Mark. But Wade, congratulations. Thank you for writing in. He also gave us some information, and I think it's really valuable. If you don't mind, I wanted to wait till listener spotlight was over. He wanted to let us know that there's something going on with subscription. So you and I, after going to Podfest, we decided to put the subscription together for those who were giving us a little bit of their money from their wallet, and we wanted to give something back. So you and I put a 48-hour jump on the show. He says, I think whatever you're doing with monetization is good because I really like the pod. I know it costs money to put on. But he wanted to know when it does download and in the feed for Apple Podcasts, somehow it gets buried because it shows up as being released days before it's downloaded. Just want to let you guys know about it. So if you are an Apple podcast listener, which I am, I haven't noticed that, but let us know if you're also seeing that. I would love to be able to. We work with a company called Buzzsprout. We've said it many times. There's no secrets here. If we are having that, I'd like to get a hold of them. They're really good about fixing problems. So if you are experiencing the same thing that Wade is, and you're getting the podcast buried because it comes out to the subscribers first, let us know. I'd like to know that.
Yep.
All right, let's move forward. I seem to be the one that always puts the anchor on the ball and takes this show down. So I'm going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Sharp, sir, do you have a job update?
Well, I am getting very good at submitting resumes and then turning around on the same place that I submit my resumes and entering all of that resume information again. I don't know why they want that, but I'm getting very good at that. I'm also getting very good at not being called back. If only I could get telemarketers to do the exact same thing that potential employers do, I'd be golden, man. Let me tell you. So, no. And I'm being told, regardless of what anybody is saying about our economy out there, I'm being told by headhunters and other professionals that it is taking months for people to find a job at the level that I'm, of course, looking at. So, could be a long slog, unfortunately.
Just remember,
that's where we're at. I'm getting good at. I don't get it. Here, send us your resume. Here, fill out the application. Now, give everything that you just sent in that resume on the exact same thing that I'm sending. Re-enter everything from your resume. Well, then why do you need my resume for? Or why don't you use AI to just pull that information off and fill your thing instead of making me do 2 steps that aren't necessary? But I guess they figure you don't have anything else to do. You'll have time to do it. So.
Would you be willing and be palatable? I know this is not a rancid dissatisfaction show, but would you be willing to give me one that I could get off my chest?
Sure.
Do you know that something in the line that you just said about resumes and then refilling it out that just really blanks me off? Filling out medical information, checking in for an appointment. And then online, they asked me everything, my medical history. They asked me, I mean, every surgery, every medication I've been taking since I've been a child, the Flintstone vitamin, everything, the calcium pills, everything. And then you get to the medical appointment and they hand you the clipboard and they want you to fill it out again. And I think that to me has got to be one of the most stressful.
The people that do those are the same people that are in HR doing their resumes. It's done by the same organization is doing that. We're going to make them fill out exactly the same information again and again.
So the last time I went, I was so I decided not to. But recently, I'm sure they've upped their game with those questions where it says, have you felt mentally depressed in the last 2 weeks? Have you felt like not eating, sleeping, and everything? And because they wanted me to fill it out again, I wanted to go to the very last page. I'm like, you're not going to read this anyway. I'm going to kill myself tonight. But I decided not to. But I just wanted to say thank you. I'll let me get that off my chest. So,
absolutely.
All right. Listen, we have something you and I got together last week, and we were talking about which way to take the show. We're taking it up, by the way, not down. And
can I interrupt real quick? You're speaking about the show, but before you get too far, anybody who's listening will hear our introduction is different. It was something we worked on in Florida. When we were in Florida, we decided we'd shake some things up, and we worked on several things, which you've seen bits and pieces of it here. But we decided to, we have a retired NASA girl as our official announcer, but we have added someone to our announcing thing. So we went out there and found, and I am happy to say, he sounds really awesome. It's a guy now doing our introduction. NASA girl's not gone. She'll come back. But we got, it's incredible. We got the guy that does the Longhorn Steakhouse commercials to do our introduction.
I got to tell you, for anyone who doesn't know that, when we do cycling trips, and we're going to do cycling trips again, by golly, we are going to do them again pretty soon.
Some point in
time. You got to get slap happy, right? You ride 60 miles, 70 miles, 80 miles. You're hot, you're thirsty, you take a shower, you're ready to go eat something. And, you and I are, there's a reason we are called Cycling Men of Leisure. It's not just because it just happened. So we travel well. And so we were calling around and we had to drive about 15 miles. We had a rental car, and I'll never forget. we were looking at places, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this Longhorn's in business still, because you never know,
Yeah.
And we called, ring. Thank you for calling the Longhorn Steakhouse. And you and I just laughed and laughed. And I think it must have been the heat, the being delirious, being hungry. But it was just one of those moments where it was just so funny. We're like, well, are you open? And the lady goes, we sure are. We could look forward to seeing you. And so we just thought that was the greatest. Well, every now and then when life would get, boring and monotonous, I would just call the Longhorn Steakhouse phone number and be like, thank you for calling the Longhorn. And you were able to get him.
We got him, and he recorded. We gave him a script, and he recorded it like 3 different ways.
Yep.
And he actually, the way that you hear it, he actually threw in a little bit of emphasis that we weren't expecting. It sounds fantastic, but I was just he does he's done some of the Chevy Ram commercials, if I remember right. But his biggest one is the Longhorn Steakhouse. So if you're like listening to the Longhorn Steakhouse commercials, you'll hear him. This Longhorn Steakhouse. And what's funny about that whole story is this happened, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago when we first did this. There'll be days when we're out there riding, it's hot and all this kind of stuff, and there's like a lull and nothing's going on, and one of us will go, thank you for calling the Longhorn Steakhouse, just out of the blue, and we'll both like just break up. It's funny. It's funny.
Especially when there's some of those rides. Just to be clear, we have a lot of listeners in Georgia, not in Georgia, because Franklin feeds me so well. I usually gain weight at Bragg, but we've been on other rides where there hasn't been a lot of food, and I'm like, I'd kill for a Longhorn Steakhouse.
Longhorn steak. We never say it normally. It's always, I'd kill for a Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah,
I just wanted to bring that up because I know last episode was the first time we'd used it. So this episode, so if you generally like go through it, stop for a second, and you can hear the announcer for Longhorn Steakhouse announce the road adventures of cycling middle leisure. So,
and I don't want to give it away, but that's a little foggy. Didn't we? We have another one too, right?
Oh, we actually got a couple of people to do it.
Yeah.
We haven't got the other persons on there yet, but we thought that would give us some I don't know, something to change up our introductions every once in a while, throw a new person on there announcing it. And we found another gal who does a very good job. And so we'll have some variety now.
Our good friend Jeff, who helped us with weather and saved our keisters in Iowa, yes. He told me we should actually write NASA Girl and say, would you let us interview you for the show? You don't know this, but for our 5-year anniversary, you've introduced us for 5 years. How do you feel about coming on the show? I said, that's a good idea. So I don't know.
We should. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to do that. I got some time.
Yeah. Every time you text me, I have some time. I never know if it's been like, well, good. Go organize your closet or good.
Clean up that desk of yours.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right. What do we got? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that just came to mind, and we didn't mention it last episode. So
no, we didn't.
We needed to throw that out there.
I appreciate you mentioning it. So, well, we got together last week and threw some ideas on the table. A lot of it's on the cutting room down here. I got a big mess to pick up down here. But the things that made the list, I'm really excited about. This is why I've been looking forward to seeing. Well, you mentioned some stuff about music, and you mentioned some stuff about beverages, and these are things that are right in line with leisure. So, would dealer's choice? Which one you want to go first?
I think I'd like to do music first.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for Mr. Sharp to give us a little song and dance.
No, maybe I better not do that. Yeah, I was, I get these ideas. I got this like little whiteboard right here, right there, that I keep down in my basement. That when I come up with ideas, I'm like, oh, we should do that. I write it down on there. And I was in my office the other day, not working, but I was in my office, and I thought, you know what? What about certain types of music that you just don't hear anymore? So I told you, and you were kind of like, okay. But I'm thinking about music types that you can't just turn on the radio necessarily and hear. And so I let's see if I can find one here that that might be appropriate. Give me just a second. You could fill the time there with.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we're looking, I actually can tell a music story while you're looking, and I'll stop as soon as I hear it. But recently on a cruise in February, we went to Royal Caribbean's Aqua Show, and I got to tell you, they played the 80s music for their called Aqua 80s 2. And I looked at my wife. I said, "This is when music was good." Oh, the Entertainer.
Nope. Can you hear it?
A little bit, yeah. Oh, there.
Do you know what kind of music that is?
I'm going to embarrass myself. It's not ragtime, right?
It is ragtime.
Wow.
Whatever happened to ragtime music? You know, ragtime and New Orleans jazz, it's very, very similar. A lot of pianos, some trumpets and trombones and things like that. But whatever happened? I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe one of these days I just want to turn on the radio and go, gee, I'd like to hear some ragtime.
They don't play that in Central Time?
No. No. Do they play it in your time?
Well, no, we're an hour in front of you. My point is we've advanced. So.
Oh, I see how you are that way. But yeah, they don't have ragtime anymore, which I'm a little disappointed about. Actually, I'm a little angry about because, I mean, you know, you're having a bad day. How can you not smile when somebody starts playing some ragtime? Don't you think?
I picture when that music that you just played, stuff like that, like old time movies where you see a guy playing the piano and everyone's like happy. So.
Well, it is like The Entertainer. One of my favorite movies is A Sting, and they play that, you know, in the movie, and it's really good. It's, you know, 1920s. It's kind of good. So,
little sidebar: I went to Missouri State and won a gold medal, playing The Entertainer.
Really?
I did.
On the drums?
It was on a marimba. Xylophone marimba. Yep.
Well, there you go. Because all good military boys should be able to play the marimba.
It was 4 of us, and we did a quartet.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'm glad there was 4 of you if it was a quartet, because that'd be weird if there was 3 in the quartet. But yeah.
Well, my personality was there, and my other personality. No, just kidding. So,
what about this?
I actually don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know what I know the song actually, but I don't know the style. What it's called.
That is sea shanty music.
Oh, you cannot go wrong with a little sea shanty on a Friday night.
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're in your driveway or in your garage, and you've got a cigar and some whiskey. Listen to some sea shanty music. That'll make you get up and start dancing. In fact, when you're listening to a sea shanty music, you can drink right out of the bottle, and it is perfectly acceptable, even with company. Pass the bottle around. No?
This is your segment.
Well, did you have any music to add?
You know, I was telling the story as you were searching. I got to tell you, and 80s hits. Like, I remember my first video was "You Give Love a Bad Name," and "Living on a Prayer." No, "Living on a Prayer." So in the middle of the country, I lived in Anna, Illinois. For those of you it's south of Carbondale on 57 there, 146, and we had literally, I'm not kidding you, we had 4 channels, and Friday nights, if the wind was not blowing and everything worked out right, we could get the reception. It was Friday night videos, and that was what's that? Oh man, I should have known it before. Don't give me no lies and keep your hands to yourself.
Oh yeah.
Got a little change in my pocket going jing-a-ling-a-ling. But anyways, please don't crash your car. Sorry for singing. But I remember those kinds of hits were very, they definitely a memory, and in my head. Well, when we were on the cruise, it was all like U2 and Bon Jovi and all the good stuff. And like I said to my wife, this is when music was good. And she's like, okay, calm down. You've had a couple of bourbons, relax. So as we're walking to our room, I'll never forget. There was a couple in front of us, and the guy leaned over to his wife. He's like, "That's when music was good." And I go, "See." So that's definitely. But I have to tell you a sidebar before you get back to the sea shanty and the whatever, the ragtime. Um, the other day I had on classic music, and the DJ said, "And now we're going to play a little oldie. Um, we're going to play a little Pearl Jam, Jeremy." And I was like, "That's not an oldie. What are you talking about?" I had a hard time accepting that. So
Yeah, it's an oldie. Excuse me. It is an oldie. I'm sorry to be the one that has to
that's okay.
you know about that, but yeah, sea shanties. Those, I mean, whatever happened to those? I mean, you could be a pirate and have a good time. Now, this next one should be one near and dear to your heart.
Oh boy.
Yes, no?
I I don't know what it is yet.
Okay, let's try another one.
Polka.
Hey, the man wins a prize.
I love it. By the way, sidebar, best movie line ever. Polka.
You don't remember that? It was a big hit for us in the Midwest. Polka.
The Kenosha
For those
Kickers.
of you who don't know, that was John Candy from Home Alone.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's
the Polka Kings. Yes.
Sidebar, I have a little movie history for those of our community that may not know this. If you did watch Home Alone and you know that Catherine and John Candy are in the back of the moving truck, I want you to know that that whole scene is improv. It was not written down. You can look this up. I'm not just making this up. And he talks about leaving his son in a funeral home, and she's terrified. But if you look it up, it's complete improv. He just made it up, and I don't want to ruin it. I want you to watch it, and so go search for it because it's hilarious. But I want you to know it's all made up. So,
oh yeah, he's okay. I mean, kids bounce back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Polka. It was a big hit for us in the Midwest. Yeah. So. There you go. You don't hear polka music very often anymore. I mean, maybe if you're up in like Wisconsin or
at a wedding.
Well, you got to be at a right wedding because I can go to a lot of weddings and I don't hear polka music. But
Polish weddings.
Well, I don't go to a whole lot of Polish weddings, so there you go. Maybe that's it. So, how about a little of this?
Anybody else concerned?
Concerned about what?
I don't know what this is.
You don't know what this is?
Mm-mm.
This is the reason why it's no longer around. This is lyre music. You know, the lyre, you know, that 4, 5, 6, 8 strings, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, like you'd see the Renaissance Festival.
Yes. This is really big back in ancient Rome and ancient Greece. And listening to that little snippet, there's no reason for that music to come back, honestly.
I mean, I've heard of elevator music. I've also heard of music that makes you jump off the elevator.
So maybe I'm going to suggest we don't bring back that. Okay. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, Cyndi Lauper had the dulcimer, and that sounded great. But yeah, that what you just played.
That just goes to show that there are some music types that should just be dead and buried. Yep. I'm sure that worked out in ancient Rome and ancient Greece, but let's not hear that again. Now here's a good one. You should get this one. I would think. and as it's coming up here. But yeah, this one is.
If you play Michael's cool and Adam's okay,
So there you go.
I don't know what that. I mean, I'm familiar with the style, but I don't know what it's called.
That, my friend, is barbershop quartet.
I went to the barbershop. Doesn't look like it.
Did you sing?
If I sing at a barber,
well, that would be horrible. I mean, ever since we got past like 1920, barbershop quartet just hasn't been big. I think it needs to come back. Although it did get big there for a while when the Music Man came out, and every time they redo Music Man on Broadway and stuff, everybody's reminded, hey, barbershop quartet is a real type of music, because in the original movie they had the Buffalo Bills, which is a very famous barbershop quartet, singing in that movie. But so there you go.
Disney has the Dapper Dans.
Yes, that's right. I'm a Dapper Dan man. We won't get into that movie, but
I don't want fop
because I'm a Dapper Dan man. Yeah.
Thanks for giving us the G-rated version. I appreciate that, sir. This is a family show.
No problem. Yeah, we're in a geographic anomaly.
Oh, that's
another movie reference from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? So,
hey, Mister, you lost some of your folding money.
Folding money? Dumber, you're dumber than a
bag of hammers.
Bag of hammers. All right, so there we go. I was just, there's just some styles of music that aren't around anymore that I think should be.
I think one of those styles would probably be right in line with the cycling men of leisure, since Otis is wearing the old-time suit with the buttons, and
Otis would fit right in with the barbershop quartet. I mean, he's even got like the handlebar mustache, and he could step right off that bike and jump in barbershop quartet.
Absolutely.
So we're okay. There's part of our origin story for Otis. He when he's not on a bicycle, he sings barbershop quartet. He's multifaceted.
Before we transition to our next beverage thing, I have to give a small update.
Okay.
I can't tell you how excited I am to tell you about the next thing.
Oh boy.
Cycling men of leisure and cycling women of leisure. You and I just gave the final stamp of approval for the jersey for 2026 Bragg. And let me tell you, it's the best one we've ever done.
It is incredible. Now, for anybody who listens to our show and our community out there, may or may not remember that a certain member of this group, i.e. Adam and Michael, really did not like last year's logo or last year's design whatsoever. And they were very vocal about it. But this year's, oh my God, it is so awesome. I need to buy one just because it is so cool. I mean, it just literally sings cycling men or cycling women of leisure. It is a cool jersey.
I already told our designer from Primal that even though that you and I would not be attending the event, that you and I were going to be purchasing. It is that cool. So
I would not have, one of us would not have said that last year.
I don't know who that was.
I don't know. Okay, it was me. I was not thrilled with, a lot of people liked it. I was not thrilled with the design, but that's okay. This year, got a design that I absolutely love.
I'm excited. I don't know. I know our friends Sarah and Walter, they have Safety is Sexy. I hope they did well. And I know our good friend Bill, they have the Chain Gang. I hope there's actually 2 Chain Gang teams, I think, but unless they join together, which I don't know that or not, but I hope that their jerseys are cool. But I got to tell you, we will have 2 different. The men and women will both have different jerseys, and let me just say, I'm pretty excited. So
people are going to say that is a cool jersey. Michael's 100% right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all
knew
that
happens. So
let's move this on.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about beverages. That seems like something the Cycling Men of Leisure podcast would talk about a lot, as beverages.
Yeah, and we consume a few,
Yes.
alcoholic and otherwise, absolutely.
I've noticed recently that the last few shows you haven't had your traditional bourbon.
I have not. I figure with the way my lifestyle is right now, the last thing I need to be doing is drinking.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't have a problem with it, but you know what? I don't want to get a problem with it. So I think for a while, I'm just going to completely not be drinking any alcoholic beverages. I don't think it'll serve my purpose at all. So,
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about what you were talking about, because I don't know how you were going to introduce it, but I love it.
Well, in another instant of things I'd like to talk about is beverages, but not just beverages. There is some really, really weird ways of measuring beverages. And prior to 1980 in the United States, we measured them based upon our weird system of measurements, which was, gallons, pints, quarts, things like that. After 1980, we started measuring things in the metric system because, when you and I were a kid, we were just 2 years away from going full metrics, which we're still waiting on that one, but it's coming, I'm quite sure, or not. So we moved from our standard to the metric system on alcohol, and that occurred in the 1980s. And I started doing some research, and there's just some really interesting ways today and historically how we've measured liquor. And I will start off with one.
Okay.
Very interesting. Have you ever been sitting at a bar or sitting by a campfire and somebody, says, "Do you want something?" And you were like, "Give me a Jill."
No, because usually, that
No,
sounds
I'll take the bottle.
exactly. No, I haven't.
Okay, well, it's a little dated, but it was a huge standard measurement of whiskey and rum back in the British Navy Revolutionary period. In fact, George Washington declared that the Army should get a Jill of whiskey every day, a ration of whiskey, and that equates out to like 4 ounces. They also used it on like British Navy ships with rum or grog, watered down rum. They would get a Jill. It's actually spelled Gill, but pronounced Jill. And that was actually 4 ounces, and that was their daily ration of rum on the ship. So the name comes from the Jill cup, which is a small tin-lined cup that measures a spirit, and that would be a 4-ounce cup. So they would do that.
Huh.
Here's your Jill for the day. Yeah, I don't really think that's something that you could really save up your rations for or anything like that. I think it was kind of consume it as you go, but the Jill. So the next time you're sitting around the campfire or we're on a bike ride, you can impress everybody by going, "I'll take another Jill." Well, don't say that around your wife because that's going to be completely taken the wrong way, but
That's
I'll know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'll get you 4 ounces of your favorite drink. So there's other ones
for you.
Okay.
This one I found interesting because I was using ChatGPT, and I said I wanted just some ideas so I could keep up with the conversation. And the reason why ounce, we think of a shot being an ounce normally. It comes from the Latin word unica, meaning 1/12, and Roman measurement it meant a 12th part, and that idea survived into English measurement words today. That's how you got an ounce. I just thought that was it.
Okay. And a shot is traditionally 1 ounce. Nowadays, you see it more of 1.5 ounces. But the shot itself, a lot of people will tell you that it's because back in the Old West, they used to pay for their whiskey. I'll take a shot, and that measurement was worth like one 45 caliber bullet. There's no historical precedence for that
Gotcha.
whatsoever. That's just a great story that people tell. Actually, the first use of shot as a form of measurement of alcohol was in the 1670s. So it goes back much further than that. And the glass itself, the shot glass, is actually thought to have been named after a German glassmaker named Otto Schott, Schott. So there you go. A little bit more about your shot thing.
Piggybacking off of your shot, this says a shot is a drink and appears by the 1600s. It's a small drink of straight liquor, and then historical idea comes from throwing down a drink quickly, like a shot, boom.
Shot.
Yep.
Another one that's always fun, and I use this term a lot, is buttload. Did you know that buttload is actually a form of measurement of liquor?
I did not.
Yes. So the next time I say, man, I had a buttload of this or that, technically, I either am lying or I had 126 gallons of something.
I'm
It's
hoping that you're lying.
It's actually a barrel.
Wow.
It's called a butt barrel, 126 gallons. That's where the term buttload came from. And barrels are interesting, and whiskey barrels are traditionally, as you know, 53 gallons are the traditional normal size barrels. They do have 30 gallon and 15 gallon, but traditional places, you know, on the Bourbon Trail and stuff are going to use 50 gallons or 53 gallons. But the wine industry and the other, you know, people making ports and things like that have other size barrels. Some of them get very large. Hogshead. I'll take a hogshead. I don't know how they came up with the name, but that is a 66 gallon barrel. Like I said, the butt is 126 gallon. And then the largest ones, well, the largest ones that are standardized, they have a lot larger barrels that have been custom made, is a tune, and that is 252 gallons.
So if you ever say I had a buttload of whiskey or a tune of whiskey,
you can
I know
call me
you're-
a liar because I'd be dead.
you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. With my studio project, I have literally carried a buttload of
That,
booze.
my friend, would be, or probably closer to a tune than you
Yeah.
are buttload. I'm thinking probably as much whiskey as you've got up there. But
Sidebar, it's all over my house right now. It's on my first floor, it's my second floor, guest bedroom, and we had someone taking care of our cat when we were on vacation. And I actually had to preface when they came in, listen, I don't have a problem. I just have a big project going on upstairs.
what the guy with a problem would say. I don't have a problem. And finally, I know we're getting close on time, but the one I'll end with is a nip. You know
Okay.
how somebody says, oh, I'll take a nip of that. It's very kind of a British term, I guess. But that's mini bottle, and that is basically 50 milliliters. And it's 1.5 ounces. So it'd be basically what you get on the airline there.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
So when you're on there, on the sitting in first class, and they said, "Would you like a drink, Mr. Bransky?" You can say, "Well, I'll take a nip of
This
Woodford
feels kind
Reserve."
of really strange to say to a guy who's searching for employment, but I have not been upgraded this year. Normally when you and I travel, I come back going,
Well, it's you traveling and not me, so maybe I'm the one getting you the upgrades.
Well, that's
something to
true
ponder.
because the more people who buy Maine allow me to move up. So would you please start buying some tickets?
I'm trying, man. So I just thought it would be interesting to educate some people on the interesting ways that alcohol is measured. And then you can even get into crazier stuff. If you go back to India, they measure things in what's called a peg, and it just gets just crazy. So, but there you go. Next time someone says they have a buttload of something, you can go, oh, so you got 126 gallons. And they'll be going, what?
I thought it might be interesting just to add a couple things here. It says that the gallon, what we think of as a gallon today, comes from an Old French and medieval Latin gelata, or I'm pronouncing that correctly, Galleta, meaning something like a jug, a bucket, or a pail, and it originally pointed more of a container than the exact modern size. And the other one I wanted to mention was cup. We all think of a cup. Give me a cup of milk, a cup of water, a cup of coffee, whatever. And it says that it's an Old English word, and it is cuppa, meaning cup or drinking vessel. And the 8 ounce was regular brought on later, but back in the day it was just whatever size your cup was. Give me a cup of this, cup of that. I thought that was kind of interesting. But one I'll end with was the pint. This is really interesting to me because we think of a pint as a standard unit of measurement now. But according to this, and again, I'm just looking online, but the pint wasn't exactly 100% sure. It says it probably came from a marked fill line back in the day, is how they first got the pint. I thought that was kind of interesting. Likely comes from a painted or marked line on a vessel, and the painted lines show how full it should be. And that's where they think the pint came from, that's just amazing that we use that as a standard unit of measurement now.
Because, back in the day, it's like, yeah, this is a pint of liquid, and they erase the line off and drop it down a half an inch. It's like, oh, there's a real pint.
Oh, I've been to a bar just like you.
There was a lot of finagling going on. It's like, oh. So,
well,
now we know.
Let's go ahead and finish this show off. Go ahead.
Did we want to thank some people?
I'll thank anyone you want to thank. Who do you want to start with?
Well, we hadn't thanked our subscribers in a while. I thought maybe we would take a minute to thank them if you had everything ready.
Yes, I can get it going very quickly here.
I tell you what, while you're doing that, I can be reading the next listener spotlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, now time for listener spotlight.
Oh. And sometimes he just doesn't try, but that's okay. He's busy. I threw kind of a,
hold on,
called an audible there. And
ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for listener spotlight. How about that?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Listener spotlight for this episode. The clues are as followed. This town was named for a water feature. It was settled.
Oh,
excuse me.
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of water.
Please. What's in that little QT thing there you have?
That would be Dr. Pepper. All right. Sorry about that. It was settled in the late 1700s. It is best known for one of its stone buildings. The town knows something about moving. It has a strong Colorado connection. And this city has hosted several counties. Any ideas? St. Louis is not a water feature, by the way.
No. Wasn't even going to go there, but
okay.
Hosted several counties.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood that correctly, sir.
Hosted several counties.
Well,
strong Colorado connection, all that good stuff.
Listen, we got some guesses last time, so for our community, please go forth, do your research, look it out, put Michael, and make sure and keep him honest. So, why don't we, as you said, read our subscriber list that we want to thank, and team member and great friend, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mr. Alex Bell.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Alex.
Hey, look at this. Miss Barbara Sharp.
Hey, there we go.
Nice. Very nice.
My mother, we appreciate that.
Well, she's always been a big supporter. Our good friend Mandy Johnson, an original Cycling Women of Leisure.
Yep.
Our friend Kip Othold. Hope I'm saying that right because I'll feel guilty if I'm not. Ryan Ronek, who we interviewed with Bruce for the 911 trail. Our good friend Joe Grammer. And our good friend Mr. Dennis Keeler. Thank you to our subscribers. And an honorary member, even though he's going to be surprised, back from Cambodia, back from Vietnam. Ladies and gentlemen, I must always thank our original supporter, Mr. Scott Garwick. So,
Yes.
thank you, sir, for all your support along the way. Hope you had a great trip. Uh, thank you for sharing your pictures, by the way, on the social media of your trip to Cambodia and Vietnam. So that was really cool. So,
All
with
right,
that,
cool. We just hadn't said thank you for them for a while, so I didn't want to leave them out.
no, I appreciate that. It's good to hear you back in good, better spirits, Mr. Sharp. I'm
Well,
happy to gonna keep you honest and keep you
all
happy. And by the way, don't forget there is a driving job in Michigan. On that note,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, it's soon for me. Very soon. It's going to be a great day for a bike ride.
Absolutely.